DT.
DT.
DT. Well, this is a bittersweet episode of the Donk and Dreamy show. I'm Donk.
This is Dreamy.
And we're just two Broncos fans who love and miss Demaryius Thomas. Amazing player. Amazing person. I didn't actually personally know the guy, but he did a lot for the community.
Way too young. Way too young.
He was only 33 years old. I'm almost 29. Like, he wasn't even a half a decade older than me. It's crazy to think about. So, at least, the Broncos got to send him off with the game that he deserved. We got to give the Lions the palindrome score. I'm sure every Lions fan with OCD out there is thanking us. Are both of our running backs both got 2 touchdowns each, which hasn't happened since the 60s, apparently. Just a great way to honor him, and the way that our players are celebrating, going over to the number that they had on the number they had on the field, when the defense made plays. I mean, I only cried about 3 times. Just super emotional, and it's a game I'll always think about, even though it wasn't in and of itself a particularly exciting game, because it was the Lions.
They don't need to be. We didn't have. I'm not looking for, us to play the Raiders on this one. And I will say this before I get into my whole thing about Detroit. If you have your shot glass there, Donk, I'm going to go ahead.
This isn't a shot glass. This is a full glass of whiskey, but I will take a drink with you. And those of you watching at home, feel free to take a drink with us, whether it be juice, water, whatever you have on you. This one's for DT, Demaryius Thomas.
To DT and your family.
Oh, you're not gonna? I was gonna.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, what did you think I was doing that for? Oh well, screw it. I'm doing that with you folks at home. But I'm not going to shoot this because it's the Champions Blend whiskey.
Oh, yeah, no, don't.
Because we are champions. And you know who else was a champion? Demaryius friggin' Thomas.
Super Bowl 50 champion.
God. And he played like a champion 48, too. He played like a champion. He didn't come out of that game a champion, but he played like one.
You know what was so crazy about DT? His first game, his rookie game, I remember it, 2009, against the Indianapolis Colts when Peyton Manning was their quarterback. And for that to kind of come full circle and Peyton Manning throwing DT touchdowns and guiding him to his own Super Bowl win, it's beautiful. I think what's so special, I'm sorry not to cut you off, I think what's so special about DT was he didn't play for a well-known school, Georgia Tech. It's not a well-known school. And not to say that it's not a great school, but, it doesn't get that national recognition.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, yeah.
And, for a man like that to just work his off. I won't try to curse on this because I know we have children, but but
we don't. But anyway,
but he was just so, for him to work his butt off to become like our first round pick in 2009, like it was early too, and just to see his career, being able to enjoy that, like those 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years with him. And now for him to be lost at such a really young age, 33, it's disheartening. And to the Thomas family, I wish you nothing but my sincerest condolences, prayers, thoughts. Just wish the whole family well on this terrible time that y'all are having.
Yeah, just something as sudden as this. It was really, this is a good one for people that believe in higher powers and deities and all that. The final drive that our offense had was 88 yards.
Wow. Whoa.
Yeah, right? And it came off of a clutch interception by Justin Simmons, as all Justin Simmons interceptions are. I also want to give a huge shout out to Draymond Jones. I mean, this guy had 2 sacks, 3 tackles for a loss, that weird pass defended, but like went into his helmet pretty much, or would have if he didn't have the shield there. But he only played 38% of the snaps. And that just, I like the way Fangio has been able to coach up, some of the more underrated members of our defense. But that guy's performance in particular stood out to me. One thing I also noticed in this game was Javonte Williams. He started to seem to have – it started to seem like Melvin Gordon was starting to rub off on him a little bit. I saw a little bit more patience and a little bit more reliance on his vision and not as much on just his power and speed. Because, yeah, he can straight up run into a dude and carry him like a backpack for 5 yards.
Exactly. He could just straight up truck people.
But you can't do that forever in the NFL.
Right.
Due to age, just the impact that will have on your body. And also because these NFL defenders, a lot of them make it a point to try to get just that much better each season. And part of getting that much better, especially for guys that are going to be in the AFC West, is learning how to stop Javonte Williams. Because I think it's pretty obvious at this point to defenses, he's going to be a problem for you. And you got to find a way to stop him, or he's literally going to carry you and the ball over the goal line.
And that's the thing about no one's been talking about in terms of Javonte Williams to now develop this kind of ability. So now not only do you get the power, but now you get the vision, a little bit of elusiveness. So he could fully develop himself. Now, of course, this is a lot of talk until it happens, right? But if he's able to go ahead and, I can't see him envision him doing like the elusive back and you get the bruiser as like your secondary specialty. I mean, think about how valuable that is, especially to our offense right now that, yes, everyone did well in this game, but this is the Detroit Lions that we're talking about, which I know they were building. They had the youngest team in football by far, so I get all that. But it is really nice to see Javonte Williams kind of doing this when we need to start seeing something from the offense happen anywhere.
Yeah, and I am definitely all up for signing Melvin Gordon to a longer-term contract now. Assuming he doesn't try to hold out on us in the future, I would hope he learned his lesson from the first time he tried that stunt. But yeah, I think they complement each other so well. And even having Boone on there, the only qualm I have to having Boone be the, say the backup to Javonte is that Boone and Javonte seem to be like pretty similar running backs. And as fun as bruisers are to watch, you make a good point. You need those different skill sets because it keeps defenses on their feet. If you have to defend a different type of running back, you can't just run the same plays that you would for, just any other running back.
If I may, that's why I should say one thing that you can do with Mike Boone, especially if Javonte Williams gets all that additional skill set to be that elusive, you put Mike Boone in, and again, I'm not saying you do this right now. I'm just talking like future long term, right? Mm-hmm. You could put Mike Boone still in those bruising situations. You could still have him for a couple of years, especially if you can get him pretty cheap. And Javonte, you could make opponents think he's going to use his bruising, but if he develops that elusivity, there we go, elusivity.
You mean elusiveness?
That too, elusiveness.
That's the adjective you're looking for.
Thank you.
Or noun, I guess, actually. That's a noun. Wow. Okay, we're both dumb.
something like that. But
we definitely shouldn't be around children. We're just getting basic
no.
facts, grammar structure wrong. That's no bueno. Don't let your kids around us. We're going to teach them to speak bad English.
Bad English all around.
It might as well be Spanish. But if your kids speak Spanish, don't bring them to us either because we don't actually speak Spanish either.
No. Basically, be very, very, very cautious when watching this show around children. Anyway, coming back to...
Hey, listen, what I do with my corn juice is between me and my corn juice, okay?
So, coming back to what we were talking about with Javonte Williams and Mike Boone. Javonte Williams. Anyway, so coming back to what we could do with Javonte Williams. So you get him in with that elusiveness while being a bruiser. I mean, Mike Boone can fit into that pretty well. And that's why you would want to go ahead and you have kind of that elusiveness and bruiser factor for Javonte Williams, especially on second, third down situations, even more so goal line situations. And, when you have to get like a short yard gain or something, put Mike Boone in there, give him the wear and tear that he needs to get that first down. And that just makes our running game that much more dangerous.
Okay, so I'm not sure. Did you have any other notes or comments on the Lions game?
No, I mean, listen, when we really want to talk about this game, it's to really just see what we've got going on for the Broncos. And like I said, just coming back to Javonte Williams right now, starting to develop that sort of elusiveness. That's something we want to pay attention to as we roll into next week.
But yeah, before we talk about the Bengals game, just real quick, you can follow us on Twitter at Donk and Dreamy. If you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to hit that like button. Leave a comment down below letting us know what you think about our spicy hot takes. And you might as well just hit that subscribe button too. And be notified whenever we release new episodes. Actually, you have to hit the bell to do that. Because, God forbid you just have one button for that.
And to anyone that's just viewing the video and, contributing to our views, we definitely appreciate you as well. And giving us a chance to enlighten and entertain your phone screen or your computer screen.
Well, I'm not sure you and I think of the same definition of enlighten in that context, but
brightening their perspective.
But next week we play the also 7-6 Bengals, and this has been a very interesting team. At one point, they were the number 1 seed in the AFC, and then they lost to the Jets. And it's kind of just been 50-50 back and forth from there. One thing that's really interesting is that they have played in 4 games where either team scored exactly 41 points. And I was super happy with the Lions game because we finally managed to actually score more than 30 points. But Jordan, you're going to hate me because I'm not satisfied with that. I'm moving the goalpost.
Of course
I want to see us score more than 40 points. I want to see us hang 41 on the Bengals. I think we can do it. I think we can get a score of 41-16 if everything goes right for us.
Are you trying to hold up? Are you trying to out-dreamify me?
Okay. I'm sorry, Dreamy. I don't mean to do that to you. All right, Jordan. What are you?
Oh no. See, I'll raise you one better.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Because let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals team. All right, they have a 7-6 record. There's no denying that. But let's be 100% honest. They just have a powerhouse of an offense. However, as we have seen from the Chargers, who we took out just a couple of weeks ago, I'll remind everybody, this team's defense can be scored on. So understanding that our offense got a lot of momentum moving forward with, giving the Detroit Lions about 38 points last week. That confidence is going to take this offense to a whole nother level. I expect Broncos to drop 55 on the Bengals, and our defense will be able to go ahead and allow Joe Burrow to score some garbage touchdowns maybe. So I will give the score 55-14 Denver Broncos over the Bengals.
Okay, I feel like you're only doing 55 because I went for 41. 41's like...
Don't argue with me. Don't
in-game scenario, like, that is the most, like, that's for me to... That's a miracle for me, okay? It's 41-16. You come out here with... I don't remember already.
55 to 14 Denver Broncos.
Good grief. There's no way we're scoring more than 50 points unless we get multiple pick sixes. But I guess so there are two things that we need to worry about in this game.
Okay.
Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon. Jamar Chase is easy, though. You just double him up with Pat Surtain. But Joe Mixon, he is a really good running back, and our run defense has been pretty disappointing as of late. I love the way Kenny Young has been playing. Baron Browning has shown a lot of promise, but losing Alexander Johnson has been very visible on this team, and I expect him to have a huge day against us. In all honesty and realism, if the Bengals do win this game, it's going to be on the ground with Joe Mixon. Their rush defense is actually, pretty good, pretty decent. They're top 15. Their pass defense, on the other hand, has been terrible.
Garbage.
22nd last time I checked. Their sack percentage is at 6.98%, which I hate to get exact on you, but that's pretty scary because seems like Teddy gets sacked more frequently than not, and he's definitely getting sacked a couple of times in this game.
So
Sorry.
Oh,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. My bad. I thought you were done talking.
I just remembered. I forgot to write this part down, but works out. Yeah. What really works out in our favor is the average number of yards they've given up per play is 5.5. Now, if that doesn't sound like a Teddy Bridgewater pass to you, I don't know what to tell you. If we could just dink and dunk it, run with Javonte Melvin this whole game, we can win. But their offense is definitely going to give us some trouble.
At the same time, I do believe that understanding where we are at right now, because we are not done in the wild card race now for any measure. We are 7-6. I will remind everybody that this is the best we have been so far under Vic Fangio. So I want to prove 2 positive points right there. Understanding the momentum now that our defense had. Yes, it was against Jared Goff. However, the defense is rolling right now, has been rolling for, as long as we have been doing this particular year. So I do believe this is our best chance to really make a statement game to show everybody that Denver is not done in this horse just yet, no pun intended. So the Broncos are going to go ahead and use this time next Sunday to go ahead and teach the Bengals, teach their NFL really some respect. 55-14 Broncos. Did my take leave you speechless? Is that what happened here?
Yeah, I guess. Shit. Fuck me. All right. Oh, right. Okay. I remembered. So one more thing to consider about this game is that this is a huge game for both teams for playoff implications. This is pretty much a must-win game because if you lose this game, your chances go down dramatically for both teams. Bengals get even lower than ours, but yeah, I mean,
losing this game with 3 games left to go after that, and against divisional opponents, that is not a good sign for Denver. So we need to win and make a statement win.
Yeah, and we need to be able to carry some momentum with us into the next week because we've got the Chargers, then we've got the Raiders, and then we've got the Chiefs. And at least we've got them at home. And
And
at least at this point.
By the way, we're going to take this particular clip. We're going to take this particular clip, edit it out of this recording, and everyone will have to wait next week to see what exactly we said. And if we don't release it, we don't release it, and we move on.
Okay. All right. Wait. So that what was just said there, or this part right now?
What was just said back there? What did we say? Tune in next week to find out.
You sneaky little. Oh my! That was clever girl. But yeah, we got a very tough schedule ahead of us.
Yeah,
and it's kind of a concerning one, in my opinion. It's a scary one, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens in this game. And let me just also mention, this is leaving off the Bengals game. Let me just say, as worried as we're allowed to be about the future of the ownership situation, at least we know the front office is put together, because the ceremony and everything that was done for DT was perfect. It was well done, and it was
amazing.
The most respect we could have given to the man. And you contrast that to what a lesser team has done with their stars this year. Everybody knows which team I'm talking about and which player. And yeah, that's the other side of the coin. So at least we have that in place. Hopefully that kind of culture continues on with new ownership. And if they don't, I don't know. That's not necessarily a team I want to root for.
It's not, I'm sure a lot of this bad stretch that we've been in throughout the past, I would say 5 years, is certainly due to the ownership situation, right? I'm sure some of that has to come into. Of course, we can talk about Elway if you want as a GM, or get to all those facts, but ownership has also not been helpful, especially in this conflict that we're having. So to understand now that this year we've actually had a lot of great rookies. We talked about last episode how each 7 of our picks are doing something for this team. So, who gets that in a draft? I can't think of anything like that in recent memory. So that's great. Handling the DT affair, especially with the way we kind of treated him towards the back end, for us to have that kind of ceremony for him. And again, to really see development in a defense that we needed, to see how exciting this team is still up to this point where, Broncos and playoff appearances, we weren't talking about it like this. I don't remember ever being able to talk about this team like this in the past 5 years, Spencer. So to see how we're doing this year, we could talk about maybe they won't get into the playoffs. I don't believe that. I do believe we can get in. But to actually talk about the Broncos like this, when we haven't been able to talk about the Broncos like this in a very long time, should be very exciting to us. And again, this goes to show how important this game is and how important it is to put on a convincing statement win against this team. We can do this.
Yeah, this is, we have a lot of promise on our roster, and this is going to be a really big game for them for a lot of different reasons. Every game is a big opportunity to show out, and this game in particular, it's incredibly important that we win this game if we want to have a shot at making playoffs. But, that's all I have to say about that one. Jordan, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, for me, the Detroit game was very special. It's been a little bit tough as a Broncos fan, and just to kind of have that win was very nice. Feels like the greatest healing to any, not great news for the Broncos country. So let's take this momentum into Cincinnati and let's get a victory.
And that will do it for the Donk and Dreamy show. Again, you can follow us on Twitter at Donk and Dreamy, and hail Peyton, R.I.P.
Go Broncos. Cheers.